They're just so good. But science has spoken. Yes, MIT science, that is. No matter how carefully you peel back the 2 chocolate wafers of an Oreo, the cream filling will always stick to one side. See, it's not just juice, it's science. They say it's impossible to split the cream right down the middle. So how do they know this? Well, at MIT, they actually built an Oreometer. That's right, that's their name of it. And the whole idea was that maybe someday we could print our own Oreo cookies at home on a 3D printer. So they even tried the cookies with the extra cream, those double stuff ones. It didn't change the results. Okay. You still can never peel back 2 chocolate wafers of an Oreo. The cream filling will always stick to one side. So I went over to the Oreo website this morning because I want to see the ingredients of an Oreo cookie. And I hit accept all cookies, but I got nothing. What's going on with that? Hey, welcome to Tech Refresh. It's your fun show about all things digital. And just a quick reminder to rate, review, subscribe, and follow the podcast. And that, the email component to Tech Refresh is our fabulous newsletter called The Current. That's right. It's tech news and tips, exclusive links. There's no ads. It's absolutely free. And you want to head over to getthecurrent.com. Once again, that's getthecurrent.com. And joining this week, as always, we have our trusty news director and our battery bad boy and Baron, Ben Bradley, because how many B's can we get in a sentence? And exactly. Ben, what do you have coming up for us today?
There's a strange FBI guidebook that's archived online that is pages and pages of internet slang. So I'm going to talk about that. And later, why scam text messages have gotten so bad lately.
Oh, yeah, we got to watch out for those. And then, of course, we have our amazing content queen and crypto gal, Ali Seligman. How are you going to enhance our knowledge base today?
Well, I'm going to tell you about a very unlikely journey for a pair of AirPods and my definitive answer on whether you, yes, you, should mine crypto at home on your computer.
Oh, can I make money? Well, okay, you're going to tell us that.
I'm going to tell you that.
You're going to tell us. Okay, I'm just really excited with that. And then we have our magnificent millennial, our TikTok star, and our internet scout, Matthew Heffel here. Matt, tell us what you have coming up.
We are going to talk about a massive purchase in the trading card business, as well as a better way to organize your desk. And we're going to talk about my journey in the TikTokiverse.
Ooh, bum, 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 bum. All right, let's start with the news. These are important tech developments to keep you in the know. And yes, I've been warning you that Americans, we are all at a breaking point with all these different streaming services. Well, this past week, Netflix subscribers and its stock, it tanked. That's right. Until now, Netflix could do no wrong. Every quarter was just more viewers, more shows, and they were making tons of money. But for the first time ever, Netflix suffered a major drop in subscribers. 200,000 to be exact. It's not a lot, but that's still a lot of people. Next quarter, they say it's going to be worse. So everybody on Wall Street were like, oh no, what are you going to do about Netflix? The stock has plummeted by 37%. So explanations started coming quickly. We have increased competition, they said. Subscribers are sharing passwords, but that's only half right. Forget the password sharing. The equation is simple. Too many streaming channels fragmenting the best programs. Then we have inflation, gas prices, eating families alive, and they're having to make hard choices. And history repeats itself. This is cable cutting part 2. Well, stay tuned for more because the stock prices of other streamers also went down. And Netflix says, we're going to stop that whole password sharing thing. Remember, we told you we would love for you to share your passwords? Not so much. And they can do that by tracking the IP address of the subscriber who actually pays. But after 10 years of owning the streaming marketplace and growing subscribers, they are going to, are you ready for it? Offer an advertising-supported membership.
Amazing!
Yes. Commercials interrupting your shows. Doesn't that sound familiar? Didn't we have that? Just saying.
I've never heard of that before.
Here's a little fun fact that you can use. Okay, the world's first television commercial, aired on July 1st in 1941. And during a game between the Brooklyn Dodgers and the Philadelphia Phillies. It was an ad for Bulova watches. I actually looked this up. Company still in operation today. Now, the ad lasted for only 10 minutes, and it just told people what time it was. That's it. I said 10 seconds, so now, yes, that was all. Okay, but now we have 60 seconds, 90 seconds, infomercials. So, yes, so Netflix, we're going to start having ads for that crazy stuff. All right, Ben, tell us about this FBI guide that you found. What's that?
It's, the internet can be kind of a strange place, and this weird stuff can even come from U.S. government agencies. And it's a years old archived FBI guidebook on internet slang that was apparently made available back in 2014 as part of a Freedom of Information request. So who knows how old it really is. But now it's on the Internet Archive, the official, archive.org, for all to enjoy. And it's odd. So it goes, beyond OMGs, LOLs. You ready for how long this is?
Yes.
83 pages.
What?
Oh.
Wait, 83 pages of internet slang?
Most abbreviations. So,
I didn't even know we had that many.
Yeah.
TBM, tactical boyfriend
I'll
mention.
use that one every day, of course.
That's
Gotta be tactical.
Yeah.
DPYN, don't pick your nose.
No one has ever used
anybody
that.
ever used that? Exactly, Allie. Nobody's ever
Every
used that.
day.
I like this one. BMGWL, busting my gut with laughter. I'm really glad LOL replaced that. That's kind of a...
Yeah, that doesn't sound
Once again, no one's ever said
No
that.
one ever has
No.
said that ever in their life.
Yeah, there's so many to go through, but I mean, one of them, I guess, some of them are a little trickier, like HE, which according to this FBI guidebook, could be slang for either happy ending or high explosives.
Well, those are very different things.
Okay. Yes. You know what? I mean, let's
Are they,
use that
though?
in a sentence, right? Okay.
So I'm trying to imagine.
83 pages.
I'm trying to imagine FBI agents back in the day, just like trying to crack the codes of young people and Twitter and text messages. It had to be outdated from the moment they wrote it. I mean, they've never heard of Urban Dictionary or even Google.
No.
It's seriously
You know what? Right now, as we speak, the FBI is working on their newest guide, and it includes things like, what does an eggplant mean? Right?
Why do I keep getting the eggplant emoji? Fire?
What is
Maybe they'll
going
learn
on
the
with
term
it?
fire.
Yeah, so this is our government and tax dollars at work. We love that.
SMH.
That's great.
SMH.
SMH indeed.
Yeah, really, totally. Well, yeah, so I think that's important. So if somebody really wants to learn what the internet slang is, I guess they can find that, Ben, over at archive.org.
yeah,
right?
yeah. It's just be prepared
Okay.
for really bad scan quality. I don't know. They didn't even put the effort into uploading it, so it's just all around
Fantastic.
odd. Yeah.
Oh, man. So, Allie, you're up next. Give us something that is more current, I guess.
Indeed, I will. That is a great segue, Kim. We have talked before about how this Russia-Ukraine war is so different than any other war before, right? You have influencers making TikTok videos during wartime. You've got the government selling NFTs. And now I have another very 2022 story for you. A Ukrainian man, Vitaly Semenets, he lives in a town about 17 miles from Kiev. It's called Hostomel. Russian troops invaded the area, and his home was ransacked. And part of their loot were his AirPods. So he realized, I can use the Find My feature to see where my earbuds and the soldier who took them, where they went next. The Find My app, if you're not familiar, it can track Apple devices even when there's no connection, or in the case of AirPods, even if they travel very far from their original location. Basically, Apple uses every other iPhone in the area to look for the signals that your unique device puts out. So Vitaly started posting about his AirPods travels on his Instagram account. He traced them from Kiev into Belarus. Eventually, they ended up in a city called Gomel. And then last week, they reached Russia again, a city called Belgorod, where Putin is gathering all the troops. And he posted,
Wow.
his last Instagram post was, "Thanks to technology, I know where my AirPods are now. They were looted by Russian orcs."
You know what? I mean, there's a sentence that I never thought I would hear in my life.
Right?
I mean, think about that. It's astounding to me.
It really is. It really, really is. And I'm sure that he's not alone. I'm sure more things have been stolen if people just knew that they could do this. Crazy.
Yeah.
Speaking of AirPods, if you have a pair of AirPods Pro and you've been having audio issues, you might be able to get a free replacement from Apple. This isn't one where you can check your serial number or the model. Really, you're entitled to a free replacement if you've noticed a lot of crackling or staticky sounds, especially if it gets worse in places that are loud if you're making a phone call or if your active noise cancellation isn't working. So if you have any issues, contact Apple support. You can set up an appointment at your Apple store and you might get some free AirPods.
Ooh,
like that.
nice. You know what? That's a really great tip. Okay, so Matt, Pokemon cards? Are we back talking about Pokemon cards?
We've never stopped, Kim. It's constant Pokemon cards around here. So This week, there was a big shakeup in the Pokemon card whole thing going on. Pokemon Company, which does the games and the shows, bought the actual company that makes the Pokemon cards themselves. This company was called Millennium Print Group, and they've been making the cards for almost 30 years. So finally, this is kind of a shock to a lot of people that they didn't own it in the first place, right? You would
Yeah.
think that Pokemon owned Pokemon
Yeah.
cards. They didn't.
Exactly.
The reason they did this is because the value of Pokemon cards is skyrocketing. During the pandemic, a lot of people got really into collecting and finding these rare Pokemon cards, so much so that within the last few weeks, one Pokemon card, a holographic Pikachu Japanese version card, sold at auction for, get this, $6 million.
No.
A single
No way.
Pokemon card. So the story behind this is fascinating. It was sold at the end of last year for about $250,000. Then it was sold again in February for $900,000. Then it was sold just in April for $6 million.
Wow.
Yeah, not going
Yeah.
to collect them all.
And you could, you know what? And you can own the NFT for $29.
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly.
Wow, Pokemon cards. So, did you ever have Pokemon cards?
Yes, and it's a really sad story. When I was a kid, I collected a ton of Pokemon cards. I would beg my mom to drive me to Safeway to buy a single booster pack, and then I'd put it in its little sleeve in my binder and bring it to school and trade with my friends. And I had holographics and all these expensive cards. And then it kind of became out of fashion, and it wasn't really cool anymore. No one was really playing Pokemon anymore. And I had a neighbor who was still really into Pokemon, and they weren't really allowed to play it for a while for specific reasons. But I felt bad for them because they didn't have a lot of Pokemon cards. So I gave them my entire collection of Pokemon cards. And oh man, I mean, yeah, probably good karma, but still, looking back on it 20 years later, maybe that would have been a nice investment to have.
Okay, I think you need to find them. I think you need to say, "Hi, this is Matt. Do you remember
Yeah,
me?"
they're probably living in a mansion in
And-
California with the Pokemon card money that I gave them.
That $6 million
Yes.
card was actually yours.
It was mine. Had it the whole time.
That's it. I mean, and remember, you never want to get undressed in front of a Pokemon because they might Pikachu. Whoa, bad one. Hey, listen, stay right where you are because coming up here on Tech Refresh, we have some insider secrets and tips that you don't want to miss because these are amazing.
Let me tell you about a revolutionary new mobile voicemail app. If you've got a business, your voicemail is probably filled with messages from customers. Often the messages don't contain all the details you need. But what if you were able to get visual information from your callers? That's something you can't do with a traditional audio voicemail box, but you can with Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail. With Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail, callers receive a link to download the mobile app. There they can view important details about your business, watch videos about what you have to offer, and then leave you a video message. Actors and musicians can showcase what they do, and callers to medical practices or repair shops can report their issues visually. There are so many things that video voicemail can do for a business that makes audio voicemail a thing of the past. Discover what video voicemail can do for your business. Visit getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com.
Hey, welcome back to Tech Refresh. It's your weekly fun show about all things digital. And just a quick reminder, make sure that you sign up for The Current. I know that you're listening to this podcast because you love us, and that means you're really going to love The Current. It's free. It's amazing. It's full of all kinds of exclusive tips and tricks and links, and you can sign up right now and get it for free over at getthecurrent.com. Once again, getthecurrent.com. All right, so I'm going to start with a great tip. And this is one that I've used for many years. And every time that I talk about it, I always get people saying, "Oh my gosh, Kim Commando, I didn't know that." And then I sit there and think, well, why weren't you listening for the last 5 years? But anyway, here's the deal. People are traveling again. And that means that when you go out of town, is that when you're not at home, you're not using your what? Your internet, right? Okay. And so cable and phone companies, along with ISPs, there is a secret way for you to save big money on these monthly bills. What you can do is if you're going on an extended vacation, maybe you're going to remote work at some exclusive resort or wherever it may be, is that you can put your whole internet service on hold for 30 days. It's called vacation hold or seasonal hold. And what happens is that the provider will pause all your phone, internet, TV service when you're not home. You don't need to return any equipment. You don't need to change anything. You get to keep your email address with them. You get to keep your phone number. There's no reactivation fees. You don't have to take any equipment, as I said, in any places. And it's a really great option for snowbirds, people with second homes. Maybe you have to be in the hospital, or if you're traveling for a month or more. Now, the hold works differently for each provider. It's like, for example, you can put your Cox cable on hold from 1 month to 9 months, and it only costs you $10 a month, okay, which is a lot cheaper than saying cancel the service, and now I want you to come out and put it in again. Dish is $5 a month, DirecTV, $7 a month. So bottom line, vacation hold, seasonal holds, an easy way to save money if you're not going to be at that particular place where you're paying for your internet. And speaking of saving money, Ben, what are these things with shopping alerts that you use?
Well, if you haven't heard, I like to buy stuff.
Big
Shocker.
purchaser over here.
No. Is it, you know what? Is it like a lot of like man soap and like
Nah,
cologne?
I'm okay with what I
And,
get at Walmart or
Power
you know,
socks.
Fry's, Kroger, stuff. I'm okay with what you find there, even Amazon. So, no, this could be, it could be sports memorabilia or, I'm big into sports. It could be gadgets, when I'm looking for something new. I don't really like paying full price, and that's the issue. And, for some things actually do go on sale, but it's very rare. Other sites try to undercut it. So I like to get the alerts when something I'm watching but can be patient for, drops in price. So like Amazon, I use Camel. So if you've heard of that, it lets you know when the price of something changes. Basically, it's for the stuff on my Amazon wish list. It shoots you an email anytime there's a drop. You create an account, you drop in these links, and you can set up, you don't want to be notified if it drops by like 25 cents or something. So you set kind of a bar for if it drops this much, let me know. Yeah, and then you've got other
That
sites
is
like
nice.
Honey, which big on coupon codes, but they also have a drop list feature that's similar to Camel, but it works on other sites besides Amazon. And one that I didn't even know existed until Allie told me about it a couple of years, but it's called Visual Ping. And it's better for when something's out of stock and you're waiting for it to come back in. Yeah, so it basically you pick a web page and you can either scan, take a screenshot of the entire page or a snippet, and it'll monitor when that part of the page changes. So like if out of stock goes to in stock,
Ooh.
very
That's
subtle
nice,
changes.
yeah.
So it's a good one to use too, when you're really looking for something that's just hard to find.
Well, now Honey, they used to be a sponsor of the show. They're not a sponsor anymore. So you can go to like joinhoney.com/Kim, and I think we still get some kind of credit for some reason, whatever. But you know what's interesting about Honey is that, I didn't really realize about this whole like reward thing that they have going on. And so they'll say like, well, here's like some honey bucks. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what that means. And so I got an email that says like, you have $360 worth of honey
What?
Whoa.
bucks. And I'm like, I know. I'm like, what is that? And so, okay, this is full disclosure. So, and it's going to affect you guys because it said, how do you want your $360? And I said, well, I'll take like Amazon gift card. Okay. And so in case you're wondering why you got $60 Amazon gift cards the last time you won in the virtual Pictionary, that's why you
Amazing.
got the $60 Amazon gift card. Because I was like, oh, here. Because Amber's like, we need gift cards. I'm like, oh, here, I have like honey bucks. Give them all.
Thank you, honey.
So, yeah, so that was that. All right, Allie, what's going on? You have annoying settings. Oh, hate those.
I was having this nostalgic moment recently where I was thinking about all the things our phones used to not do, right? We could make calls, we could text, like T9 texting, we could play Snake. Now we do everything on our phones. And sometimes things go wrong. Sometimes it's a bug, something we have to fix. But sometimes it's just a really dumb choice that whoever made the phone or whatever tech decided, yeah, this would be a good idea. Case in point, I switched to the Google Pixel 6 a few months ago. And I kid you not, I thought I was going crazy because every time I would push the power button to restart my phone, it would just summon Google Assistant. And I really thought all these times, like, am I doing something wrong? And then I realized, no, I'm not. And I took to Google, and it was not a mistake. This is actually just built in.
What? Why?
On the
Nice.
Pixel 6, pressing the power button opens the voice assistant. The default for turning on and off the phone is holding the power button and the volume up, which
Well,
makes no sense.
Then it's not a power button.
Yeah.
You know what? But why do we have a power button?
Because they want you to interact with Google Assistant. They want you to hit it and interact with that assistant, right? But you don't have to.
Well, that's the same way on an iPhone
Yeah.
now, though. If you hit the power button, you have to hit the volume up. So in order to turn it off.
Which is just so silly. And it doesn't have to be that way. You can change it in the settings. So for my phone, all I had to do, go into System and then Gestures, and you can change that so that power is actually power. How nice. And yes, you might be able to change it
Good.
for your iPhone. I'm not
That would be
entirely
nice.
sure.
I think so, because you get the menu.
I bet you
Yeah,
could.
there you go.
I bet you
Another annoying default that I think is annoying, at least, and I'm sorry if any of you have this, but when you send an email from your iPhone, you get that little signature sent from my iPhone. And I think you should change that. I really do. It's when you use the Mail app, but you can change it. Just takes a minute, and I think it'll make you look a little more with it. So,
Well, I'll tell you, my mother, when I gave her first iPhone and everything that she would send, it would say like sent from your iPhone. She calls me up and she's like, Kim, I am not doing advertising for Apple on every email that I send.
exactly. She was a smart lady because that's exactly what it is. They just want their branding.
Yeah.
So for that one, you just go into settings and then mail and signature, and you can delete that line out. You can make your own custom signature if you want one. Do whatever you want. But stop doing the free branding for iPhone. You don't need to.
I know. I changed mine. Mine says sent from my cable. So it works. Okay, Matt, you talked about this in one of our Google Meet calls, and it's amazing.
It's incredible. Whether you're working in an office or at home, we all have desks, right? It can be hard to organize your desk efficiently, whether you have 2 monitors, 3 monitors, multiple keyboards, mouses, or if you are just trying to get pictures or other little knickknacks on your desk. There is this really cool site called deskspacing.com that allows you to put in the dimensions of your desk, and then you can organize by adding monitors or keyboards or mouses or pictures or whatever you want. And virtually in a 3D environment, you can place those things all over the desk and see how that would look spacing. You can put risers on your monitors. You can put it'll literally be like a 3-inch knickknack that they have listed there, and you can put that on it. And it just allows you to design your desk and organize your desk the way you really want it to be before you spend hours moving all your stuff around trying to get it just right. You can do it virtually, and it's so much easier. I brought it to my girlfriend immediately after we had that call. She spent like an hour on it yesterday afternoon building her desk up.
Did you
It's pretty
really?
fun.
Okay, so how did you find this site?
I saw a TikTok. There's this guy on TikTok that was
you
like, hey,
did?
if you want to organize your desk. And I was like, that is a very good idea, sir. I shall do that.
You're like, whoa. I mean, this is like one of the great things about
Yeah, it's
TikTok. I
great.
learn all these fabulous things. I was watching a TikTok today. Don't ask me why. I went down, I saw like the link, and it was a TikTok about the green line. The green line, and when people are standing there as couples next to each other, if the green line, like from their head to their toe, should be always straight instead of leaning, and what it means about the relationship, I was like, I don't know. I just,
You're going to have to send us
Yeah.
this one, Kim.
Yeah.
just, yeah.
We'll
I'll
see
have
what
to
our
send
green
you
lines
this
are.
one.
Like the
All
Oreo
right.
stuff.
You know what? I was really amazed about the Oreo
I was
stuff.
too.
I mean, but what they didn't cover. I mean, how many times have you put an Oreo in a glass of milk?
Billion.
Too many to
How
How many
count.
times? Yes,
Few times.
exactly. And the little bubbles come up, and now it's like no matter what you did, the thing just was never going to
Now
work
I
that
have
way.
to have Oreos.
All right, so it's time now where we do a little trivia here on Tech Refresh, and where we tell you something that you probably didn't know about a piece of trivia. And this week, it's our amazing Ben's chance to stump all of us. Take it away, Ben.
Okay, well, I'm kind of sticking with the sci-fi pop culture theme a little bit. And did you
Okay.
know that the iconic DeLorean is coming back this year as an EV?
Oh, fun.
Yes, an electric car. We actually talked about that a couple of years ago. Did on the Kim Commando show,
Oh.
'cause I interviewed the guy.
I remember that.
I interviewed the guy in Texas, and he's like, "I'm coming out with an EV." I'm like, "No way!" Yes, he is.
Well, so this week's trivia is, we're going back to the future. Because the DeLorean, like I said, iconic early 80s, in this signature 80s trilogy, sci-fi masterpiece. The DeLorean term time machine is powered by what's called the flux capacitor, okay? You get all that? Okay. Now, besides you have to hit 88 miles per hour, it requires 1.21 gigawatts. Now, it's actually gigawatts. They mispronounced it in the movie. So to make it possible. So a gigawatt is 1 billion watts. What could a single gigawatt power? One of these is real, and the other three I just made up. A, 200 quantum supercomputers. B, 50 million LED light bulbs. C, 750,000 homes. Or D, a single smartphone for 25 years.
Ooh,
What can a gigawatt
this is a
power?
good
This is
one.
good.
A gigawatt. Can you go through the options again real
Yes.
fast?
200 quantum supercomputers, 50 million LED light bulbs, 750,000 homes, or a single smartphone for 25 years.
This is. I mean, I could say like all the above. I mean,
I'm gonna give it my guess because I think that if it was an article that he read that he found this information out, they're gonna say homes. So I'm gonna go with the homes one.
Mm.
what do
See
you
what I'm
think,
saying?
Al?
I'm going to go, I think you're right, but I'm going to pick a different one because I want one of us to get it right,
fair
just
enough.
in case. Sorry, Ben. I'm going to go with the phone. 25 years.
Okay, and then I'm going with the LED light bulbs, just because. Okay. So, drum roll,
Oh, boy.
please. What is the answer, Ben Bradley?
One of you is correct. This guy.
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, 750,000 homes
Oh,
powered simultaneously.
Wow.
this is why whenever we play like, trivia with the company, I'm always like, I want to be on Matt's team. I mean, and
Hey.
and because
It's
and
a
because
skill.
it's like called the Kim Commando Show, I always get that. It's like, oh, okay, Kim.
Amazing how that
It is.
happens.
It's funny.
weird.
Speaking of Matt, when we come right back here on Tech Refresh, Matt's going to talk to us about his TikTok channel. And Allie, you don't want to miss this. She's going to tell us whether or not we can still and how we make money mining crypto. And then don't forget later on in the show, Ben has a great security tip that you don't want to miss. And also, I've got, I don't think it's the best joke, but I think you'll probably laugh. So stay right where you are.
Let me tell you about a revolutionary new mobile voicemail app. If you've got a business, your voicemail is probably filled with messages from customers. Often the messages don't contain all the details you need. But what if you were able to get visual information from your callers? That's something you can't do with a traditional audio voicemail box, but you can with Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail. With Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail, callers receive a link to download the mobile app. There they can view important details about your business, watch videos about what you have to offer, and then leave you a video message. Actors and musicians can showcase what they do, and callers to medical practices or repair shops can report their issues visually. There are so many things that video voicemail can do for a business that makes audio voicemail a thing of the past. Discover what video voicemail can do for your business. Visit getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com.
Hey, welcome back to Tech Refresh. You know it's your weekly fun podcast about all things digital. Make sure you tell your family and friends about Tech Refresh, so this way we always get more listeners. We need that. And it's time now for Matt, our dedicated internet scout, to tell us not really what's trending on TikTok, because it's not trending quite yet,
Not yet.
but it will be going viral, I'm sure, right, Matt?
100% guarantee.
Write that down.
In the last few weeks, I've been working on starting a TikTok channel. It's something that I kind of always wanted to do and something that I found very interesting. And I thought it'd be interesting, and I had some good things to say, especially about tech, because I, work here. And so I started working on a TikTok channel, and I learned a lot within the last few weeks. One thing that I learned is if you want to start your own TikTok channel, do not use the video in TikTok. It is not very good. It ruins your HD video. And also, there's a whole bunch of weird features on it that you might seem helpful, but they just aren't. There's a noise canceling on it that I'm embarrassed to say, but I was trying to record an outdoor TikTok and the wind was just ruining the video. And I tried using the noise cancellation and it just doesn't really work. It kind of catches some of it, but if there's actual wind and noise in the background, it doesn't really work. So I decided that I was going to find 3 better video options. I went with 3 just to see what I kind of felt about it. The first one was Pro Camera by Moment. This is a paid camera, and it's really nice because it allows you to do everything that you need for TikTok. You can hold down the button and then let go, and it'll record and then stop recording, so you can make them all at once. It also has fantastic editing software, but it is $6.99, so it is the only paid option of the three that I'm going to talk about. The second one is called Professional Camera. This is free. This is the highest rated camera in the App Store, and I really, really liked it, but it didn't have one of the key features that I want, which is being able to record and not record just with the lift of a thumb. You actually had to record different segments, and then you can patch them together, but it's a little bit cumbersome, but it is free. So, and then third, we were just talking about this on the site, iMovie.
Yeah.
Apple has released an upgraded iMovie on the iPhone that I was playing around with yesterday, and it actually has everything I'm looking for. It allows you to do the stop and hold. It has great editing features. It allows you to record an HD video. And so I think I'm going to go with iMovie when I'm doing
Wow.
the TikTok. So if you want to check out my TikToks in the future, they will be much higher quality. I'm very excited about it.
So now I know that you're doing it differently. You're going on a little walk in nature.
Yes.
But I was thinking, Matt, I mean, you have a background in drama and, you're a good looking guy and you're pretty talented. Why aren't you like dancing? I mean, like you can be like dancing and like showing people like, oh, here's what you do with your iPhone.
Isn't that what TikTok is for?
Yes, Matt.
Yeah, I mean, tech dances. So when I was in musical theater, I was a pretty good singer, a fantastic actor, and I danced.
See? Yes. I think you should just do one dancing TikTok. I mean, because it is the trend, and I mean,
I'll take that as a challenge.
Leave them
I will
wanting
do a
more.
dancing
let's
TikTok.
just see that. We'll just see that. So, how do people get to their How do people follow our TikTok channel? Where do they get it?
If you're on TikTok, just search Kim Commando, and you'll find our TikTok.
Yep.
You'll see a picture of my face as our first video, and I'm walking through nature, and
You
check it
got
out.
it. And you know what, Matt? You're doing a great job with them. You really are. You are.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm working on
All
it.
right, so now it's time for our crypto gal, our amazing content queen. She takes off that hat and she puts on this new hat where she becomes the crypto gal. And Allie and I were talking about this, and I said, you know what, Allie, this is really interesting stuff. I mean, we get the question on the show, in our email, and social all over. I mean, can I make money mining crypto? So, Allie, can we?
Okay, we do always get this question, and I can say, no, don't waste your time until I'm blue in the face, which I do. But then these headlines pop up that appear to make it like I'm wrong, right? They make it seem like I'm wrong. Business Insider had one this week. A 19-year-old is mining $887 worth of crypto a month in his tiny studio apartment. Or this one from CNBC. These 14 and 9-year-old siblings earned $160,000 in 7 months mining cryptocurrency.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Did you say 9-year-old?
I did,
Yeah,
indeed.
so it's like, you know what?
Yes,
if they
and I-
can do it, why can't we? I mean, are we just like a bunch of losers here? I mean, what's going on?
Right? It sounds so simple. It's like their little digital lemonade stand. They're just mining crypto in the garage. But before we look at their story, let's get on the same page about what mining actually is, right? So about every 10 minutes, the code underlying Bitcoin generates a math equation. And to mine the Bitcoin, you, or really your computer, needs to guess the correct solution to the equation. This is called proof of work. Maybe you've heard that term before. The more work you put in, the more rewards or money you get out. Here's the thing, though. The more computers guessing, the more difficult the equations become, and the more computer power you need. So years ago, yeah, you could do this on your regular old home computer because there just wasn't that much competition, and comparatively, it wasn't that hard to solve the equation. But now, it's much different. Today, companies spend millions of dollars on these crazy mining rigs that they use to solve the equations, and then there's all the regular individuals trying to keep up. Brings us back to our kids, the 14 and the 9-year-olds. They did start small. They actually did start mining in the garage. The 14-year-old built the computer that they were using. But then Dad took out a big loan. He's a former investment banker. And now they have hundreds of graphics cards that are hard at work mining Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other coins. Their gear includes 100 NVIDIA RTX 3090 graphics cards. I mentioned the name because this is like the top of the line card. If you're really lucky, right now you can find one for about $1,500 on eBay.
Wow, that's crazy.
They sold out. They've been sold out since they were released and were as much as like $4,000 each at one point.
Wow.
And they have 100.
Wow.
Now, their operation got too big, as you can imagine, and now they rent space in a data center for all this stuff. The electricity bill is about $5,000 a month. The people to watch over all the gear, the technicians, that's another $4,000 a month because the kids can't do it when they're in school, right?
Oh man.
So this is about as far from a lemonade stand as I can
I
imagine.
don't see the kids having a lot of play in this. Now, I mean, I know,
Yeah.
we all like those clickbait headlines, right? I mean,
Yeah.
but no, not really.
So can you make money mining Bitcoin? Yes, actually quite a bit. Is it easy or cheap? No. Can you use your regular home computer to do this? No. Should you really put in a ton of time and money to do this if you're not really serious? No. And I'm not even going to get into how quickly all this expensive equipment becomes obsolete, because it does. Now, this is not financial advice. It never is. But you'd probably be better off using that money to just buy some crypto. Or you could actually start a lemonade stand.
Hey.
Yeah, you know what?
Or buy
Or buy
cards.
Pokemon cards, right?
There you go.
Gosh, you know what? I'm really glad that you said that, Ellie, because so many people, I'm telling you, like we talked about, I mean, it's like, well, I know, and it's always somebody like, hey, Cam, I heard you could make money doing crypto. And I'm like, and I don't even know what crypto is, or they fall for those scams on the internet and how you can make money, mining
Yes.
crypto if you
Mhm.
just pay them, $200, $500 for the guide so that this way you learn how to mine crypto, whatever it may be.
Don't do it.
not do
Don't
it.
do it.
All right. So coming up, Ben is going to be talking to us about some trending tech scams that you need to watch out for, and one you can't even get out of, which is mind-boggling. So stay right where you are here with Tech Refresh.
Let me tell you about a revolutionary new mobile voicemail app. If you've got a business, your voicemail is probably filled with messages from customers. Often the messages don't contain all the details you need. But what if you were able to get visual information from your callers? That's something you can't do with a traditional audio voicemail box, but you can with Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail. With Fillmore Productions Video Voicemail, callers receive a link to download the mobile app. There they can view important details about your business, watch videos about what you have to offer, and then leave you a video message. Actors and musicians can showcase what they do, and callers to medical practices or repair shops can report their issues visually. There are so many things that video voicemail can do for a business that makes audio voicemail a thing of the past. Discover what video voicemail can do for your business. Visit getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com. That's getvideovoicemail.com.
Welcome back to Tech Refresh, your weekly fun podcast that's like say about every single thing digital. Now, think about everything we've covered. We've covered crypto. We've covered TikTok. We've talked about how you can save money on your cable bill and annoyances, and then how you can redesign your desk space. And now, this is why you love Tech Refresh, because we just squeeze everything that you need to know into one podcast. And so, Ben, tell us about these texting scams.
Okay, yeah, they're bad. I mean, they're growing in numbers because you remember robocalls were huge for years. Then you had these new tools and government tools put in place, and people just stopped answering numbers they didn't recognize. So they're really switching to spam text messages, which we'll call smishing. That's SMS phishing. New data from Robocaller. I'll just tell you how bad this is. That's an app that blocks spam calls and texts. The average American received about 42 spam texts. That's just the month of March.
Wow.
That's it? I feel like I got way more than that.
I get a lot too.
Yeah, I get a lot of them. So they want your data, they want your money. We're some of the classics. We're trying to deliver a package. Click this to confirm. Your Netflix account has been suspended. Click here to reactivate. You just won an iPad. Click here to claim it. So, but now they're spinning things a little differently. We reported a while back, about a month ago, Verizon customers were getting spam texts that appeared to come from their own phone number.
Yeah, I've got a call.
It basically said, yeah, your bill is paid. Here's a free gift. Click a link. Well, now, basically the same message is being sent, it seems mainly to T-Mobile customers. Bill being paid, here's a free gift. But these are being sent as group messages. So imagine, you get a strange text that you get along with 20 randos, people you don't recognize in this chain, and the confusion. So people asking questions, texting stop in, all caps, not knowing what's going on. And because they're being sent as group messages, at the carrier level, they can't be blocked the same way as just going.
It's a nightmare.
So basically, you can mute the thread, you can delete the thread, but better you just get rid of it. Don't click on anything. And you can also, in any spam text, you can also forward the message to 7726, which spells spam, and that is basically it's a spam reporting system that was set up years ago, I believe by the FCC, that you can just report. Doesn't mean it's going to stop, but it's at least taking a step. So we have all the information about this latest scam, T-Mobile, Verizon, what's happening with AT&T. It's all at commando.com.
I'm surprised that we didn't have spam in that 2014 FBI, directory. That was something that was probably new to them back then. I got a crazy call on the show. I don't know if you heard this last week about a guy. They've been married 40 years, and he got a text from a 21-year-old girl, hot girl, saying, "Oh, I want you, I want you, I want you." And then his wife saw that, and she's like, "You're cheating on me." I'm like, "No, you're not cheating. He's not cheating. I'm sorry. I mean, it's just another spam text." All right. All right. Good stuff, Ben. All right. Now it's time for our joke. Are you guys ready for it? This
So
might
ready.
not be the best one. The best one was the robot slap. I still think that was the best one, but this one's pretty good.
That was a good one.
All right. Goes like this. The Smiths were very proud of their family tradition. The ancestors had come to America on the Mayflower, and their descendants were senators and politicians and the Wall Street wizards and CEOs of major corporations. So they decided to compile a family history, a legacy of sorts to their children and grandchildren. And because they had a lot of money, they hired a fine author. Now, there's a problem. How would the family handle Great Uncle George? George was a criminal, a serial criminal. He was executed in an electric chair. And the author said, "You know what? I can handle this. Don't worry about it." And the family was like, "Are you sure?" And he's like, "Just, trust me. When the book comes out, everything will be fine." So when it came time for Great Uncle George, it said, Great Uncle George occupied a chair of applied electronics at an important government institution. He was attached to his position by the strongest of ties, and his death to us came as a great shock. All right, I'm sorry.
That's
Okay.
good.
It was a
dark
dark one. Oh, I'm sorry about that. It was the best I could do. I was in a hurry. Thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget, sign up for The Current. Give us a great 5-star review wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll see you again here next week.
Asante came to TurboTax after graduating from culinary school and landing a job in the hottest kitchen in town.
My hands are full all day, every day. I love it.
Asante, as your TurboTax expert, I'll make your moves count, guaranteeing 100% accurate filing and your maximum refund. Sound good?
Yes, expert!
Switch to Intuit TurboTax and make your moves count. See guarantee details at turbotax.com/guarantees. Experts only available with TurboTax Live.